How do we change human behavior? Well, those of you who are parents out there are very well aware of the fact that the way to change human behavior from birth to death, cradle to grave, is through consequences. You reward good behavior and you punish bad behavior. That's how human beings learn. That's how a lot of mammalian creatures learn. Dogs reward the good, punish the bad. Without consequence, those of us who are parents understand, and really everybody understands, if there's no consequences for bad behavior, criminal behavior, then you are raising a prisoner. You're raising a future criminal. Somebody who thinks they can do whatever they want because they've been allowed to do anything they want. And human beings tend to have some nefarious intent at times in their lives. People get selfish. People want things. You can see it in children. They act out. They smack the other kid and take his toy. They don't believe they've done anything wrong. Their universe revolves around them. And if you don't correct that, that child grows up to become an adult who acts the same exact way. The state governments understand this very well. They enforce it upon we the people on a daily basis. You can commit the slightest of minor infractions, even unintentionally. You can have a tail light out and get pulled over, and that incident can go awry and end up with your death on the side of the road. It's happened in many cases, and it's probably going to happen some more. So the state understands this very well, and they enforce it very heavily on we the people. So here's the question. How do we the people straighten out the bad criminal behavior that we see in those who enforce the laws in our country? Not just the police, although they are the first line, but the prosecutors who refuse to prosecute bad police behavior. The judges who excuse police bad behavior. The lieutenants, the captains, the chiefs who train it, who allow it, sometimes praise it behind closed doors. I've heard state troopers say it. You know, they pull over an out-of-state person for nothing, beat the living shit out of them. Beat the living shit out of them on the side of the road. Once they're in their car, they, welcome to Georgia, boy. Those who are in charge of enforcing consequences on you and I do not have a mechanism of consequence enforcement for their own bad behavior. And that's why we see it accelerating. And there's only a few of us out here possessed of the intestinal fortitude to say anything about it, to do anything about it. There's a few civil rights attorneys, a few good cops. And when I say a few, there's probably millions. But when you compare it to the majority, it's only a few. And the good are forced to maintain their silence for fear of retribution, for fear of being set up, left alone in a time of need to die. An upright cop has to deal with betrayal of the brotherhood and the very real possibility that if he outs a fellow cop for very real criminal behavior, that the next dangerous call he goes on where he needs backup, he might be left for an extra few minutes by himself. And as human beings, we're social animals. We don't want people to hate us or want to kill us. We try to fit in. We try to not rock the boat. We don't like to prosecute our own. I heard a wise man say that once, and he was right. You were right. So how do we solve the problem? In this video, I'm posing the question. I'll leave what my answers are to a future video. If these things haven't had a direct effect on your personal life, you may not think about them very much. It might not be that important. But if you've ever found yourself sitting in a cage at the hand of a rogue, out-of-control cop, or like the young lady in Shelby County, North Carolina, who recently got the shit kicked out of her by a rookie. Rookie's now fired, by the way. But is he prosecuted? Is there a consequence? Is losing your job, as uncomfortable and inconvenient as it is that an acceptable punishment for violation of your oath? Beating the shit out of a citizen? What would happen to me if I beat the shit out of that young lady? Do any of you doubt that I'd be in the county jail awaiting trial? I wouldn't have a city paying for my attorney. I'd either pay for a good attorney or I'd get the public defender whose caseload is so massive that they can't concentrate on my case, give it any real attention. There are massive problems that are growing like weeds in this country. Corruption protects itself. Corruption uses the money that it takes by force from you and uses that tax money to build a fortress around itself, an impenetrable fortress at times. I'll leave you with one thought. The few times that you do see police departments actually act to fire and or prosecute rogue cops, what is the catalyst that makes them act? And I'll tell you the answer. Publicity. When the people together move, you are strong. When you sit by the sidelines, when you stay silent, when you don't care, when you don't participate, your fellow Americans suffer. And if it hasn't touched you yet, stand by, because it's coming. I love you all. I wish you well. Stay dangerous. Out.